Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Marley and I decided to do a little bit of backpacking. It's been a while, to be specific, probably about 15 years since I've done anything like this. I used to do this a lot when I was younger, 13, 14 years old. We had a big property and I used to head out on the weekends and set up camps like this and do hunting and some fishing, and we had a really good time. And so it'd been a while. I figured I'd bring you guys with us. My total pack weight, I think, was like right around 32 pounds, and that's with all my camera gear and whatnot. I haven't done this in a while. I just set up a 10 by 15 tarp, which is really lightweight to carry. I've got my shooting sticks that I pulled up as the pole out front here, and then I've got the guy outs here diagonally, so we're able to have a fire tonight out in front, because it is going to get cold. It's about 41 degrees right now, and it'll probably get down to around 19, 20 at the coldest tonight. So this is my pack setup. You guys might have seen my video a couple weeks ago that I did talking about backpacks and bags and that sort of thing. So I set this up. I think it's like 80 something liters. Holds maybe a little more than that. I got a sleep system for Marley. I've got a sleep system for myself. Yes, Marley does have her own sleeping bag. And I got my camera gear, a shovel, all my cooking stuff, coffee stuff. So when you really think about it, everything that I brought, this really isn't that much. I could probably even pack lighter. But the majority of it is most of my camera gear, like batteries and some lights and stuff that I'm going to need for later for filming, so you guys are able to see. But I'm sure there's stuff I forgot, but I think I brought the majority of what we need. And so I'm going to kind of put everything together here at camp. I got a few more things I got to adjust with the shelter. Because this ground is pretty soft, and so the stakes that I brought, they're not really in the ground very solid, so I think I'm going to have to go around and maybe even find some rocks to put on top of them to make sure they don't pull out if it gets some wind out here. The reason that I picked this spot was because there's so much firewood around here, and it is going to be cold tonight, and rather than pick another spot that has better, ground, I'm going to have to be hiking further for firewood. This place has a ton of dead trees over here that I can cut up, and, it's within about 20, 30 yards, so it'll be easy to carry all that back, and I won't have to put out as much energy, because a lot of times, I'll camp in a nice spot. It's really pretty, perfect setup, but you got to hike forever to go get wood. Because I don't want to be cutting live trees. I'm just going to be going after the dry stuff. And we did get quite a bit of rain last night, and so everything is going to be pretty wet. But I did bring some stuff that'll help us get a fire started if we have to. So I've got a little inflatable air mattress I'm going to put in here that'll bring me up off the ground, and that'll help keep us warm. And then we'll have the fire out here in front, and that hopefully is going to reflect some of the heat back in here. There's wild animals out here that are going to snatch you up, and then there's going to be no more Marley. Yeah, and then your mom is going to kill me, and I won't be able to go home. Yeah, I won't have a home, because she'll kill me if I come home without you. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be warm tonight. yeah, you get to try out your new sleeping bag. Huh. Yeah. One of the things that I always bring with me that's really important, definitely a tool that I use, is a folding shovel. This is an old, military style clone. It's made by Coleman. I've had it for quite a few years. Pretty durable. It is a bit heavy, but it's definitely, like I said, durable. So it's lasted me. There's a lot of these on Amazon, I've noticed, and a lot of them look like total pieces of crap. They're like kind of gimmicky. This is just a simple shovel. I can use it to dig a fire pit. I can use it to dig a trench around the tent. And I use it, for when I go to the bathroom. I can dig a hole. So we're going to use this. I'm going to get a fire pit here. And I don't want it too close to the tent. I'm going to probably have it about 3 or 4 feet away. And that'll give me enough space to be able to get in and out of the tent. And it's still going to be able to bring that heat in later tonight when it gets cold. So I'm going to dig that, and then we're going to head over. We'll get some firewood. So I carved this out pretty good. I made it fairly wide so that way I can put some larger pieces of wood in and I don't have to really cut them very small. And then I just put some rocks on the back wall here, and that's going to hopefully help reflect some of the heat back towards the tent. And so I got this wall of dirt right here, and then I left this fairly shallow, and so that's going to allow that heat to get back in here. So I was taking my water break and I looked out behind me, and we're right next to this humongous juniper. This is probably the largest one that I've seen personally. You can see where somebody cut this years ago. It burns really well, and like I said, we did get some rain, and so a lot of that wood that we collected, it is wet, and so we're going to need something that's fairly dry that's going to help us get the fire started. And so underneath here, you can see where a lot of this bark is starting to peel off. And this stuff is excellent fire starter. You can make a tinder bundle. So we're going to collect a bunch of this, and I'm going to set it over there in the sun and just let it continue to dry. And this is going to work really well to get a fire started later. Hey, cheers you guys. Definitely nice having some coffee out here on the trail. I'm really digging this campsite. Excellent fire pit. We got plenty of firewood. I really like the tarp setup. This is probably one of my favorite setups for backpacking. I really like the 10 by 15, and the reason being is you're able to have a floor. And if you don't want a floor, you can configure this almost twice the size, and it's pretty versatile with the shooting stick, because if we had some rain come in right now, I could really quickly just lower this about another 8 inches, pull the floor back, and this would be more like an awning. And so that's really kind of the reason that I like using the tarp. You know, it's a very lightweight setup. I do like using tents, but you know, you got the poles, you got a lot of extra stuff, and this thing weighs like nothing. I see a lot of guys, they'll use like a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 8, and in my opinion that's just too small. It's definitely nice having a floor, especially when you set up in a spot that, you know, you may have had rain the night before like we did, and you know, having a floor is definitely nice. It's going to keep you dry. All your stuff isn't going to get all cruddy. You're going to stay a lot warmer. That's just my experience. But I'm looking forward to getting in this tonight. We'll get a fire going. I'm going to hang out, have my coffee for a little bit. Marley's taking a cat nap. So I got that juniper in here, and I just balled it up, and it's like a little nest, and I got that in here. And I just wanted to mention real quick, you know, I always bring a couple different ways of starting a fire. I've got a large ferro rod, I've got a smaller one that is in a tin, and this has some waxed sawdust in it, which works really well for starting fires. I got a good old Bic lighter. I got some waterproof storm matches. These are made by Uco. My good friend John over at Wingman 115 turned me on to these, and I gotta say, I've used them. I think these are like the best stormproof matches. If you can't start a fire with these, you're probably not going to start one. And then on top of that, I got 2 small pieces of wood, and these are dry in the event that, you know, everything is wet and I just need something dry at least to get it started. I can use my knife to shave some of this off, and you know, it's nice to carry that stuff. So I just wanted to mention that, you know, if you guys come out here, you know, especially in the colder months, make sure you have a few different ways you can get a fire started. So we're going high class tonight. We got some New York loin strip steak. I got some garlic and olive oil rice, and should make a pretty good meal. And Marley's got gourmet dog food, but she'll end up getting a piece of this. So I'm gonna pull this out and we're gonna cook it over the fire. I do have some heavy duty tin foil. We're gonna put it in the tin foil with some oil, and we'll put some salt and pepper on it, and we'll let it cook on the coals. So it's right at 42 degrees right now. This fire is hot and it's pushing all that heat back into the tent, just like I hoped. I had to take my jacket off. I've got the rice done, Marley ate, and I'm just waiting for the meat to finish here in the foil. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed I don't screw this up. This is the first time I've ever cooked like that in foil. So I'm hoping it's going to turn out good. I did bring a pan with me just in case, but I'm kind of thinking that the foil is going to keep all the juices in there, and so that's at least what I'm hoping. But I think it's got a few more minutes and then we'll pull it out. It's another reason you need a shovel. Look at that. Perfect. Definitely worth bringing all this in. You know, I see a lot of people, they use those bag meals, the backpacking meals. Those things suck. I'd much rather have something like this. Now I can see if you're going to be gone, you know, a couple nights or something like that, it's much easier to carry something that's not going to go bad. But as cold as it is, you know, this meat really only needed to stay for a couple hours. Hey, cheers you guys. As you can see, it's pretty warm. Marley is in her new sleeping bag that she got for Christmas, and it's only about 6:30 right now. It's pretty early, but it is pitch black out. I can barely see the moon coming up over the mountain here. But I really had a great day today. It was fun to get out and do some hiking around, and I really like this kind of camping. Like I said, I used to do this when I was younger, and it was a lot of fun. But since I gotten older, I just kind of, I don't know what happened. I think I got spoiled with the Jeep and being able to kind of do it that way. But you know what? Being able to go in on foot gets you to places that you'd never be able to get to, you know, in a vehicle. So I gotta tell you guys, it doesn't get much better than this. I mean, look at this view. Got an awesome campfire, and it is warming up this tent, and I think we're going to be good tonight once we're in our sleeping bags. Good morning, you guys. It got cold last night. It was about 28 degrees, and that was just when I woke up because the fire had gone out. And so I came out here, got a fire started. We went through all that wood last night, which really isn't surprising. And I had a hard time getting back to sleep. I didn't get back to sleep until probably about 5:30. And then I woke up again at about 7, and I was going to bring you guys with us. We were going to hike over and do a little bit of hunting. And all my batteries were dead in the camera, all my extras. The cold just sucks the life out of them. And so I set everything out in the sun. I've got the other batteries charging on my power bank right now. And so we're just waiting on that. I got a fire started. I got my coffee. It's a beautiful day. It's right around 50 degrees. We're going to head over and do a little exploring in a little bit and see if we can spot any activity from animals. Then we'll come back here and we'll start packing everything up. Marley and I hiked for about 2 miles, and we made our way on top of a couple of the ridge lines just so I could get a nice overlook of the area. And this particular area is extremely vast. There's a lot to explore out here, but I would imagine springtime is going to be pretty good up here, and it's going to be really beautiful. There's a lot of flowers, and everything is usually green up here in spring. So we'll be back. Right now I'm just gonna bury the fire pit, kind of clean up the camp, pack everything away. Come on, Marley, you gotta pack everything up in here. Come on, I'm not gonna pack up your sleeping bag for you. That's your job. Come on, get it packed up. Let's go. Let's pack it up.